Ladies and gentlemen, with the recent update in CN server, Hypergriff finally released an official archetype or subclass for each operator. As you may already know, there are no official statement about subclass in Arknights. But with the recent update from CN server, we will see our operators in their subclass. But remember, since this update come for CN server first, all the subclass name are currently fan translate. So you might see people calling it differently. And some subclass name can be hard to remember. So it won't be a bad idea to just use the current name that the community is familiar with. So without further ado, let's see our operators in their own subclass. First, let's start with our Vanguard class. There are 4 different subclasses in Vanguard. The first one is Pioneer. This is your dual block Vanguard with a cooler name. And it looks like both the attacker type like Texas and offensive type like Courier were put into the same subclass. Next is Assault or Charger Vanguard. This is your DP on kill Vanguard with 1 block count and fast attack speed. Then we have Tactician, your ranged Vanguard that can also summon an allied unit. Currently, our Professional Breeder is the only Vanguard with this subclass. Lastly, our DP Printer or Flag Bearer. They will generate lots of DP, but won't block when the skill is active. Moving on to Guard class. Guard class has the most subclass in this game, as expected from Guard Knights. First we have the Warlord. This is a ranged guard, but in Thorn's cases, he is basically a ground sniper. Next up the Valiant, a duelist guard, a unit with a high attack and HP stats. But most of the time their skill is a little underwhelming. Next the Ripper, or Breacher, formerly known as AoE guard. Next the Warlock. Of course, this is Art's guard. Brawler, or Pugilist, a guard with a low attack, but have a high attack speed. Next Swordmaster, a dual strike guard, its regular attacks deal damage twice. Next is Martial Artist, formerly Enmity Guard, a guard that can't be healed using normal healing. Will recover some HP when attacking, also increase their attack speed when attacked. Next the Instructor, can attack distant enemies, and increases attack when not blocking. Then the Liberator. This is a new guard subclass. They will not attack or block, unless the skill is active. This subclass will also gradually increase their attack stats when skill is not active. Lastly, the Reaper. Another new subclass. Basically this is a combination of Martial Artist and Reaper. Moving on to Defender operators. There are 5 subclasses within Defender class. First we have the Protectors as your normal defender with 3 blocks. Next up is the Preserver. It's your healing defender. Next is Resolute, or Unyielding. This is an enmity defender like Mudrick and Vulcan. The Champion, your duelist defender. Unectes is currently the only one with this archetype. Lastly, the Arts Protector. They will deal arts damage when skill is active. Getting into the Sniper. We have 7 Sniper subclass. We have the Rapid Fire as your anti-air sniper. Then the Bombardier, formerly known as the AoE sniper, that has a long attack range. Pinpoint, the close-range sniper with a great attack. Marksman, the long-range sniper. They will prioritize low-def enemies first. Siege, don't be confused with the operator with the same name. Annihilator, a unique sniper. Currently Rosmontis is the only one with this class. Spreadshotter, a multi-target sniper that will attack all enemies within range. Next up the Caster class. This one also have 7 subclass. First, we have Core Caster, or you might call them as a single target caster. The Splash Caster, or AoE caster like Mostimmer and Dusk. Mystic Caster, Iris and Indigo are the duo caster with this subclass. Next, Drone or Mechanic Caster. Click is currently the only person with this subclass. Chain Caster. A caster that just got a decent buff recently. They can bounce their attacks from one enemy to another. Blast Caster. Or I simply just call this subclass with Ifrit's archetype. Guardian Caster. Caster that won't attack unless skill is active. And will attack all enemies within range when it does. Moving on to the Medic class. Medic has the fewer subclasses, with only 3 subclasses. First we have the Physician. This is your basic single target medic. And Kelsey is also in this one. Next is Ring Healer. Formerly known as AoE Medic. The third is Mender. Also known as Wide Range Medic. And then the Supporter class. They have 5 subclasses, and currently there's no male supporter operator. First we have the Slower Supporter. Guess this one doesn't really have that much of a name change, at least on my version. Next up the Bard. Just like its name, Skulter and Sura are the operator in this subclass. Blessing Supporter. Supporter that augments friendly units by making them more resistant to damage. Currently Tsukinergy is the only supporter with this subclass. Witherer, or Deba for supporter. Much like their names, their skill set can weaken enemies. Summoner. They can deal arts damage and use summons in battlefield. Lastly, the Specialist class. First we have the Pusher Specialist, or what I like to call them, Bully Specialist. Next is Puller. Just like its name, they pull. Executioner. This is your fast redeploy unit. The Peddler. Much like Executioner, they also have a shorter fast redeploy time. And will consume your DP on the battlefield every 3 seconds. Puppeteer Specialist. This specialist can use their substitute to continue fighting when defeated. The Stalker Specialist. Known as the Controller Specialist like Manticore and Ethan. Then we have the Trapper Specialist. They can use their trap anywhere in the battlefield. Lastly, the Geek. Or what I like to call it, Sus Operator. Ak is currently the only one with this archetype. That should be all. Adios.